Hey everyone, this is Lacy. Today I'm going to compare Boulevard to Zenoti to see which one might work best for your business. So just as a quick background, Boulevard is more of a newer, more fashionable option for scaling businesses. Those businesses that are looking to grow, that might be smaller, medium-sized salons, med spas, and the like. Now, Zenoti is obviously a much larger company, and it is offered in dozens of countries and languages. So it's kind of geared more toward large-scale operations. Those companies that have multiple facilities across multiple countries and need to be able to manage recordings, things like Zoom recordings or report generation across multiple departments and locations. So I'm just going to start off with price. When you look at these two options comparatively, the price is exactly the same. You have about $425 versus $420 per month. But again, availability in terms of language and location is one of the key differentiators. So if you are located outside of the US and you need something that can provide your business with reports, with marketing options, and a lot of internal communication, outside the US, you're going to probably prefer Zenoti because of its availability, especially in terms of different languages. But inside the US, I would definitely consider Boulevard. So I'm going to start with the user interface. First things you can see right here. Boulevard has this front desk option where you can see what's going on, what appointments have arrived, which appointments have already been completed. You can change the availability. You can look at today, you can look at tomorrow, you can change the staff members you want to review. And you can see here that the use of color is judiciously employed. That is something I truly love about this interface. No matter which section you click on, you will see that color is sparing. It is here specifically to indicate individual people. And as you can see here, these appointments, one of the things I really like, you'll see that Amanda, she's got her profile picture here and it's got this yellow hue and a yellow circle that goes around it. So the appointment is actually right here for Van Durgen, right? So that's who you have listed here. That's the customer. But the service provider with whom they have the appointment is Amanda. And that's something you can tell because of this color. So you can see that Amanda has already confirmed this appointment, has already had over here, Candace Hills. And you can see that Robert had 2 appointments. Robert has a similar color, and that is a corresponding color that you'll see over here. So up here at the top, each of the employees are designated a color, and that color tints not just their profile picture, but all of the people they have booked for a given day or week. Now, the layout for appointments, as you can see right here in the training videos from Zenoti, is much clunkier. This looks like you were brought back in time. I genuinely think when I look at this profile right here, or this layout right here, that I am somehow that 12-year-old waiting for AOL to dial up and having someone yell at me that I need to get off the internet because they have to make a phone call. That is exactly what this feels like. I just dropped right into the past. So I don't like how clunky this is. You can obviously see which service providers are listed, and it's an Excel spreadsheet. It has more colors, but somehow less or fewer colors. It has less going for it. You have just a name and a percentage. You see what's booked for the day, but you can't differentiate between providers other than what's up here. Whereas Boulevard has this great differentiator right here with the color. They each have their respective columns, which I absolutely love. And of course, the rows for the different times of day. So user interface is something that I genuinely prefer with Boulevard, and I think most people would. You can see that all of the, let's say, booking a new client. So room, service provider, you have over here marketing, everything you see here at this top section, notice that it's all in caps. I don't know why that is, but I was told that you are not supposed to use caps unless you are trying to effectively yell something at your reader. So it does seem like Zenoti is yelling at me quite a bit, and I don't really appreciate that. So from there, I'm also going to look at reports, right? So something I really like about the reports section here, again, this judicious use of colors. I know exactly where I am because of this tiny little bar here versus summaries and reports. It's not offensive. It doesn't draw the eye. It's not the only thing you can see. I love that. So what you see here under reports, you can go to quick summaries. I love the quick summary. This is a breakdown. If I want a sales summary, I can see memberships, packages, products, services, and it has everything for the day. And even though this is still a type of chart or table, this table is very elegant. You can see here that the sales category, this part over here, you've got this beautiful light gray background that does stand out against the other backdrops for memberships, packages, all these other options, but it's not clunky. It doesn't distract you. You just visibly wash over all of this and can read everything easily. I can look at package sales and see how that's doing. And you'll notice that same structure and layout here. I can look at payments and refunds. Again, same structure and layout. So these are quick glimpses. These are quick bits of data that can provide you with some insight into how things are going. Now, any one of these things can be expanded. If I want to do that, I can change filters. If I want to click on reports, I can actually generate much bigger reports. So let's say product sales by staff. You come over here. I have options to customize my report based on the rows, the staff members I want. You see all of these options, and it's such a clean, easy layout. I can filter the report how I want with all of these options. Now, this is juxtaposed pretty heavily by what you see here for marketing reports. Now, as we go through their training video, you'll see that this marketing, I don't like this particular layout. Obviously, you have the outdated Microsoft Word style table where one line has the gray background, one line has the white background, gray background, white background, and so forth. I really don't like that personally, and it doesn't look as clean as what you have with the reports over here, with just the single header and then all of the white background here. So another thing is that when this report or when this marketing data, when any of these reports are generated, you'll see that it's very clunky. It does not appeal to the eye. It's difficult to navigate. Now, that said, if you have dedicated staff members who want to look at these reports, who want to check all of this in-depth information, especially across multiple locations or multiple countries, then Zenoti actually fills a need for your company that maybe Boulevard won't. So Boulevard is going to be great if your company is scaling, if you have multiple employees that you are managing across a few locations, maybe one location, maybe two locations. As you can see here, you can pick which location. This particular med spa has two locations, one in Santa Monica, one in Beverly Hills. You can change the location and immediately get the change in reports. So Zenoti has a lot of these report functions as well that, while they look very antiquated to me and they just speak to a quant sitting in a room somewhere looking at spreadsheets and data, that might very well be what you need. You might have dedicated staff who are looking into that data, who don't want something that looks as nice as this and prefer the very basic spreadsheet version. So onboarding, as you can already see here, what we have is a lot of videos, new appointment settings. See all of this down here. There's so much happening. When you load the information, it all looks very antiquated. I guess it's appealing if your focus is more on productivity and less on usability. So in that regard, it might work well. But everything that you see here, adding appointments, adding guests, you can see this is very clunky. It doesn't look good. It doesn't draw your eye to the next stages, the immediate next steps. Whereas if I'm in Boulevard and I'm at the calendar function, or let's say the front desk, again, that judicious use of color, new appointment, boom, I can actually put someone's name in. I'm going to start with Clarissa. I was looking for Clarissa. There she is. I can check the services. These are all of the services that we already have. And let's say she wants hair removal, small area, and she doesn't care who it is, or she prefers someone like Ben. Maybe she has her preference. It doesn't, I can just say first available. I can search for another service. She wants a wrinkle relaxer as well. And this time she really wants Christina. That's who she loves. So she's going to prefer Christina. And I just view times. And all of this is a beautiful layout, right? 11, that's the optimal time for her, for that first service. Boulevard's going to automatically put those services in order based on what she needs first. And this is going to be her second best time. She can preview times, we can preview days, and that is beautiful. It's so easy to add. Whereas here you have this very unsettling sort of background. You actually, I mean, for me, I expect that if I try to generate these reports or print out information, it's going to come out of a dot matrix printer. So the onboarding, these are some of their training videos. And you'll see that they have a lot of training videos. There are several videos, all of which sound like the presenter is just as bored as the visitors or participants. I really don't like the onboarding process. You just have to stare at a screen basically all day. And that includes recorded online sessions for things like processing a payment, applying a gift card, booking a new appointment, as you can see here. So that's just something I don't particularly enjoy. All of these pop-up screens that block what you're seeing back here, that's just another aspect of that user interface that for me is not as comfortable, though it functions perfectly well. It's just not as comfortable as the options that you have here with Boulevard, where, you know, Clarissa is going to pop up here, but I can still see everything that's happening over here, and I can always minimize her if I need to check someone in or look at other details. That said, Boulevard's onboarding process doesn't give you a YouTube link. It gives you specialists. You get an individual specialist who works with you over the span of 3 to 4 weeks, and they give you about 15 hours of help to make sure that you know everything about this. You know how to set up your billing, know how to add your products, you know how to put things in order, give the membership plans that you want. All of these details, you get complete support in setting them up. I've already kind of covered booking, but that's something else that really does stand out. As you can see here, this is the booking process. This is navigating someone, adding a service, and it is all in caps up here. Before appointment, after appointment, you have the guest, you have who you're booking for, start time, end time. All of this seems like it's just yelling at you. It's a little messy. The graphics remind me of MySpace, and I genuinely don't think I need to say more. Obviously, by comparison, you have this front desk feature and you have the calendar feature over here, which I'm going to go back to, let's say, this day, and I'm going to get rid of Clarissa over here. And let's say I want all of my staff. I'm going to go back to the Beverly Hills location here. Booking a new customer, as I've already said, is incredibly simple. I can look over here. I can see what's available. I can click on that time slot. Just immediate click. Just, oh, someone wants, Amanda's free at 4:15. I can just click on 4:15, left click. I can either block that time out for Amanda because let's say she has something else to do, or I can just click new appointment and whoop, up it pops. Or I can just look at this, and if someone calls through this number, I just click on new appointment. Same exact thing. If it's someone new, I can just do it that way. If they know who they want or they know what time, I can look at the day, I can look at the time, I can look at the provider, and I can just click. So that's something that I really like with Boulevard. So I've already covered the reports. So Zenoti, as mentioned, is there for big clients, big organizations. And part of that is that they have a lot of internal reports. I may have mentioned that I don't exactly like the layout of these reports, but their reports give you a lot of details on attendance, on appointments, on individual sales performances, sales reports for timeframes, employees, categories, booking productivity reports, turnaway reports where a guest didn't show up. You get employee sales metrics, Zoom meeting metrics, who was at a Zoom meeting. So again, that's something that really speaks to an organization that is very large and needs a lot of support across multiple locations, across multiple countries or multiple departments, and needs to be able to conduct things like training or other updated videos from Zoom meetings and then capture that information and see who participated and who didn't. Reports here, I've kind of already gone through. You have that summaries versus the big reports. So this is obviously more for an internal company. One spa, one med spa, one salon that is looking to see how everything is working internally for themselves, looking for staff, things like time clocks, who has checked in, who hasn't checked in, inventory, appointments, commissions, things of that nature. So with Boulevard, you can customize your reports as mentioned, and it doesn't look like Excel spreadsheet and PowerPoint had a baby out of wedlock, unlike Zenoti. But Zenoti does have a lot more when it comes to nitty-gritty, detailed information. So that is something to consider depending on the size of your organization. Now, I think that it's great having the AI phone function. So you'll see up here in the top, you have an AI phone, or sorry, you just have an AI phone that is designed to replace that front desk function. So Zenoti's phone is, as I mentioned, an AI powered phone. So when someone calls, it handles basic messages, it provides company information, and it can actually facilitate appointments that are made for you without having someone there. Boulevard has a same phone number that is linked to people who want to book appointments from interconnected widgets on any other page, be it your actual website or a marketing platform or social media page. However, that phone function just comes to this front desk. So it immediately pops up here, and I would have to have some staff member present to answer that phone and deal with that. So you can see how a lot of the features that Zenoti has are designed for larger scale operations, large organizations that might have multiple locations across different countries, whereas Boulevard is there for small to medium-sized businesses that are absolutely just as well-sized, but might be scaling. And I really like that. I've already covered a little bit the client information, how easy it is to find client data here. No matter where you touch on Boulevard's platform, as soon as a client name pops up, you'll see that it's a clickable link. I love that because you can see basic information. You can open up all of their information. You get to see forms, you get to see charts, you get to see their payment methods, things that they have completed, services they have booked. And again, no matter where their name pops up, even when you look up clients, you click on Ariane, it's going to show you that same thing. You're going to get that same client profile. So Boulevard is definitely geared toward building client relationships. It is there to help you build better, sustainable relationships with your customer base as a scaling small to medium-sized business. And that is something I absolutely love. So when it comes down to it, obviously it's really based on personal preference, but side by side, I think Zenoti is best for large scale enterprises. It's going to be best for organizations that have multiple, if not dozens of locations, and especially locations across multiple countries, and want to, look at a lot of in-depth internal reports for those locations, and then keep costs to a minimum by providing that AI-powered phone. By comparison, US-based companies that are looking to scale their operations and build better relationships with clients will benefit a lot more from Boulevard. I love this front desk function. I love the layout. It's so easy to use. All of these messages are handled right here in the same platform. So you can look at reports, you can look at sales, you can talk to your customers, make changes if necessary, and handle all of your marketing campaigns and other campaigns right from this beautiful layout. So if you want something that is going to feel a lot less stressful, going to have a lot more for you as a scaling business, absolutely go with Boulevard.